In our opinion, about $10 into the stock was sort of baked in here based on a worst case tariff. So I think you could see the stock rebound from here. As you look at investors, it was white knuckles going into this weekend.
And so right now, what do you think the reaction is going to be? Okay, it's a reprieve. We don't have to worry about it for a little while, or is it just still limbo for figuring out how these negotiations go over the next 3 months?
I think at this point it's a reprieve, and I think investors are kind of viewing a little more background noise in terms of the 10% tariff that Trump threw out. I think you still look at, the ultimate fundamental story and what's happening in terms of ultimate demand going to the December quarter. But look, for tech and for Apple in particular, I mean, this was definitely a Goldilocks scenario. Given what was baked in, and it was just the bad news continue to happen, I think, in our opinion, worst case, it was going to take about 3 to 7% off of Apple's profits in 2019. So you should have baked that back into where the stock could go now.
If there were tariffs on iPhones and other Chinese tech.
Ultimately, that extra 10% would have really been a gut punch for Apple, and I think you're seeing the sort of reaction today.
So you said it before, the backdrop of it is the fundamental story. Are the best days for Apple over? Forget the tariffs right now. That is something that had to happen or is never going to happen. What's the fundamental story?
Look, the best days from an iPhone perspective are in the rearview mirror. I think right now for Apple, I mean, you're seeing the investors and the street sort of reset expectations in terms of iPhone growth and specifically what's going to be the arrow in the quiver in terms of services. But ultimately, if you look at transparency, that's been a big dagger that you've seen in the stock here. We ultimately believe you're looking at a core 5 to 10% growth with services. I think right now it's a reset in terms of where the multiple trades. We continue to think this is a stock that could go $30, $40, $50 higher as we get through this period, which in our opinion is probably the most negative we've seen in about 3 to 4 years.
So you think the sell-off has been overdone?
Look, I think it's overdone. I think you'll see the tariff sort of rebound today, but fundamentally there's still a lot of wood to chop for Cook and Apple to prove that, okay, if iPhone's a 2 to 5% grow or even declining units, ASPs can increase, and specifically it's about China. Demand, that's the key. That's what's been disappointing so far in XR.
So holiday, is it a big deal right now? We're not going to get specific iPhone sales from Apple, so is it make or break, or is it just no big deal for Apple?
No, it's still make or break. I mean, even though they're not giving iPhone units, it's make or break in terms of seeing where the supply-demand sort of barrier hits in terms of going to the December and the March quarter. I'd say right now, Street's looking at, let's call it, units down 3, 5, 7%. If holidays does not go as expected, then you look at 8, 10% plus unit decel. Right. The stock's not baking that in. So I think this is still what I view as a make or break holiday season for Apple, specifically on iPhone 10, 10s demand.